to consolidate the financial pillar in the public sector. But after, you have to enlarge to a broader journey. So that said, what are the key questions? First of all, as somebody to address the public sector issue for adopting the integrated reporting, and is our organization concerned, or other organizations could do that, and when it is said that we have to address the issue, how do we have to do? So I listed a lot of questions we started working on at the IRC level in order to launch the exercise. So to talk straight, we plan to work on the public sector components from 2014 up to 2016. And we listed already a lot of concern and issue we have to deal with and we have to solve if we want to keep the momentum to have a sort of indicative framework at the end of 2016, maybe 2017. That means in the 3 years perspective, in order to disseminate a sort of framework up for 2020. So it's a relatively long-term or medium-term perspective. So now I want just to focus on the main characteristic of what should be an integrated reporting journey, because some of you are not so familiar with the details and how it could be applicable to the public sector. So I started from one of my slides used for the business presentation, either for corporation or for analysts or investors. First of all, and I do think it's the same for both in the private and the public sectors, it should be a shift in order to pass from a pure compliant and past-based reporting to a prospective reporting, giving more sense to the reader in terms of understanding what will be the future of your performance. And that said, we do think at the IRC level that the future communication will have two main bedrocks, one based on the financial reporting and one based on the non-financial reporting, with some additional comments regarding strategy, governance, performance, prospect, a lot of things which can't be measured through indicators. Okay, financial reporting, you have a lot of standards, and I hope in the public sectors we will have more robust standards in the future, and the PwC survey shows that we can be optimistic, and the effort done by the Commission at Brussels is a solid and robust step forward in this way. And for non-financial reporting, I mean, in other words, social, environmental, and related issue, we could have in mind that a lot of so-called standard setters across the world produce already a framework with some indicators. I mentioned just OECD or United Nations in this field. So, coming from these two pillars and with some additional comments, qualitative, we can produce a concise summary of the value creation. Okay, so for the business, the value means mainly the money, but also a lot of outcome coming for employees in terms of training, for the communities in terms of taxes, etc., etc. In the public sector, I do think that we have to adopt this scheme, but to adapt it and say value for the public sector, for me, is a combination of effectiveness, efficiency, and economy. It is my personal feeling for the time being. We'll just start the exercise, but so from the beginning, you can see that we can adopt the same perspective, but with some specific adjustment. This slide illustrates what I explained to corporations. That means I tried to say the current reporting is not satisfactory for a lot of reasons. Okay, you can read on the slide the reason frequently observed across geographies. That means that the information produced, as I said in my preliminary remarks, are not used by the readers because essentially they are an excess of volume and they are too complex, and in the same time they are not exhaustive. So you have to be more holistic in your reporting process, in your dialogue with all the stakeholders, and in the same time to enlarge the field and also to make a real exercise on materiality in order to select what makes sense in order to give clear messages to the reader. So at the opposite of the weaknesses observed in the market, you have the perspective of integrated report. And what is said on a permanent basis to community, to business communities and to investor analyst communities across the globe for the private sector, I don't see any reason why the same findings could not be addressed in the public sectors, with, once again, some adaptation. So beyond the perspective, what is integrated reporting today? Three characteristics. First of all, it is a communication. And when I say that, it is a communication not only in terms of a report, but reporting means a permanent tool in order, a permanent thinking and a permanent process in order to make everybody, to get everybody on board. That means it is a revolution, it is a breakthrough in order to scrap the silos within an organization. Okay, it is fundamentally what is the communication process. And once again, what is true for the private sector is true for the public sectors. Now you have few examples, or even no example, of transversal communication between departments within a state or within a city in order to think about a common decision makers process and a common and blended reporting process. So communication is key because beyond communication, it's a new spirit, a new style of management, a new